Good evening, godless sodomites.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
You can't just read the prompter?
I'm reading the prompter in here. You can read that pablum.
Category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Most people have no idea what Revelation 11:8 is truly saying. They read it, but they don't decode it, and their corpses shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. It doesn't say this great city resembles Sodom a little bit, or reminds you of Egypt from time to time. It says this city is spiritually Sodom, Egypt, and by context, Babylon the Great, all at once. This isn't just symbolic, this is spiritual code for a physical reality. Babylon the Great is not just the final empire, it is the final judgment. And if you understand what God did to Sodom, to Egypt, and to ancient Babel, then you'll understand what's coming. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Egypt was more than a location, it was a system. Bondage, slavery, control. Pharaoh's word was law. The Israelites weren't just asked to pray harder or mentally opt out. They were told to physically leave, to walk into the unknown by faith, and to cross over into covenant. And when Egypt came chasing after them, God drowned the empire. Water was Egypt's judgment. It cleansed the way for God's people and wiped out the system that held them captive. Now let that sit for a second, because Revelation describes Babylon the Great as dwelling upon many waters, and Jeremiah says clearly, "The sea is come upon Babylon, she is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. She is judged as Egypt was, by water." Lot didn't warn people about spiritual awakening, he warned them to get out physically. The Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And only one family made it. One wife looked back and was lost. Now look around at the modern world. Open rebellion against nature and God. And all of it is exported from the same place. The same great city. The same Babylon. So when Revelation calls her Sodom, it's not an exaggeration. And just like Sodom was, she is judged by fire. Babel, the glory of kingdoms, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And what of Babel, that ancient tower built to challenge the heavens? Let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach into heaven, and let us make a name. God came down and scattered them by force, language, geography, authority. But in Revelation we see Babel rebuilt. Babylon the Great is fallen. She made all nations drink of the wine of her fornication. This time it's not a tower. It's a digital cage, a technocratic Babylon. A global surveillance state, a network, a beast system. And yes, she falls again, but this time, never to rise. Babylon shall sink, and shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her. So Egypt's judgment was water, Sodom's judgment was fire, and Babel's was scattering and erasure. And Revelation says Babylon the Great will receive them all. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. The final judgment is not just metaphorical. It mirrors the literal destruction of every rebellious empire that came before. Babylon the Great is not just the last kingdom. It is the culmination of every system God has ever judged. An interesting and chilling thing to note is something called the Poseidon nuclear torpedo, a Russian weapon designed to cause an underwater tsunami, capable of swallowing coastlines. Think water and fire in one strike. One strike could fulfill the prophecy. And let's not forget, there are naval flood maps, doomsday maps, FEMA emergency scenario drills, and sudden climate migration initiatives being rolled out under the radar as we speak. So when the judgment comes, they'll frame it as natural disaster or global climate emergency. This is why God doesn't just say believe. He says, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Those who stay behind thinking they're spiritually safe, while physically entangled, are warned in Amos 9. "All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us." Every time a nation is destroyed, God gave his people a way out. Few ever really took it. And perhaps this is why modern-day Iran casts Trump as Pharaoh. They are naming a system. Pharaoh is not a man but a role, the embodiment of an empire that demands submission to material power, debt, and domination over God. In that framing, America represents Egypt and Babylon as a civilization force. Moses does not reform Egypt, negotiate with it, or modernize it. He leads people out of it. What Western audiences call extremism or resistance to progress is, in this symbolic language, a refusal to be absorbed into the beast system, a rejection of assimilation. Whether one agrees with the outcome or not, the symbolism itself is deliberate, ancient, and consistent.